The different thing about these institutions, they were health and they were hospital. So the people that lived in them were patients. They were patients. They were always called patients. They weren't people. Everybody called them patients. Even to the day that they came out, people had to struggle to stop thinking that they were patients, which indicated that if they're patients, there must be something wrong with them, that which wasn't the fact. I mean, obviously the chain of thought's different nowadays, and you don't do it like that. But I think that was the main thing, because they were NHS, they were the health service, and they were hospitals. They were people that were looked after, as you would in it. They had ward rounds. In the institutions, they had ward rounds, the same as they do in a hospital. It wasn't like somebody's home. They lived in dormitories, and they had ward rounds where the doctor would go around to see or come visit. You know, they didn't go out. There was no... Everything happened in-house, if you like, unless it was a major operation, which and they went out for that. But mostly it was everybody coming in to them and them not going. They wouldn't have gone to the doctors or the dentist in those days. It would have been people coming into the hospital environment. And I think that's what made the difference, which is why it was so hard a transition to not be a patient anymore as well, and to be a person, because they've been growing up with that sort of... And staff had that caring for a patient type attitude rather than looking after their ordinary social needs. It was all about the health stuff, because it was a health institution, and I guess that's what it would have been really. There are others that might be different that weren't health, and I don't know, but that's how it felt. And I don't think, even if they were able, I don't think personal care was actually left to the individuals. I think it was done as in that type of setting again. They used to put the men along in a line, and the member of staff would go down with a razor and just go down the line and shave each one with a razor, and it was all done in big group, no privacy. I'm not sure at Middlefield, but there are others that I've seen where even the toilets didn't have a door on, because they had to be kept an eye on, whatever they were doing really, so you had to watch them all the time. Oh yeah, the clothing was just shared. You didn't have your own belongings. I don't think John came out of Middlefield with more than a very tiny bag of belongings. I've never seen anything, and I've always looked after his stuff for him, but there's nothing that he would have had for them from the first 26 years of his life.